Hello everyone, welcome to GSS Score. This is Ajay Shah, and today we have one of the rankers of UPSC 2019, that is Mr. Rahul Reddy. Rahul has done BTech in Electronics and Communication from Venkateswara College of Engineering, and he has passed in 2012. So after a long struggle, finally Rahul is an IAS officer, or perhaps is an IPS officer, and he is all set to serve our country. And today Rahul is there in our series of pathways, and today we are going to discuss everything about mains answer writing, which is one of the biggest doubts and confusion of the students. So Rahul, welcome to GSS Score, and many congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Rahul, tell me something about your journey, your experience of this UPSC. How was your experience in this UPSC?
Yes, sir. So I have done my graduation in 2000, completed my graduation in 2012. Thereafter, I have started my UPSC journey. I have taken coaching. I have come to Delhi from in 2012, and I have taken coaching for my optionals. At that point of time, there were two optionals. One is for PubAd, I have taken coaching, and second is the geography. So I have not taken any coaching for the general studies per se. So immediately after my coaching of optionals, I have returned to Hyderabad for my preparation. Then UPSC has come up with a new pattern of the examination. So they have confined only one optional, and I have selected geography as my optional. And I have given my first three attempts in geography. So I could not my GS was okay. Like I was performing better. I'm scoring somewhere near 400 in all the attempts, but my option was not up to the mark. So I could not get even to the interview stage in my first three attempts. So thereafterwards, I have assessed my weaknesses. I have assessed my strengths and all. So I have taken a call to change my optional. So from geography, I have shifted to political science. In my fourth attempt, I have given my mains examination with political science and international relations. But one mistake I have done is that I was taking coaching for the PSIR. Simultaneously, I have appeared for the mains examination also. So I have missed the interview mark by 22 marks. So then my fifth attempt, I have given a complete preparation from optional studies. I have but one mistake I've done is I have not taken test series for general studies at that point of time. So I have qualified for the interview, but missed the mark by 4 marks. Okay. So in my last attempt, I have taken a break because my sixth attempt and the last attempt, I've taken a break for the 2018 year. And I have prepared thoroughly for all the things. Especially, I have enrolled for the test series, GS test series, and also enrolled for the political science test series also. That has helped me a lot. And further, my journey of teaching also. So I have started teaching also since 2016 onwards, especially for Group 1, Group 2 people, the aspirants in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. That has helped me a lot. And even I have taught PSIR also for some juniors and all, like 2-3 batches I have taught to juniors. That has helped me to understand the concepts of political science. So overall, it's a long journey. But my last 2-3 attempts were very, I was very confident. And teaching also helped me a lot, and thank God, last attempt has the papers were I felt very comfortable, especially the general studies papers. I felt very comfortable. Whatever test series have followed, whatever answer writing has followed helped me a lot. And I personally taken some coaching for the personality test also, improving my communication skills. So overall, it's a happy ending for my journey.
Okay. So Rahul, what was your source of motivation for such a long year? Because I believe that there is something called perseverance, and that is a very high level of perseverance I can see in you. How did you motivate yourself towards this long journey of UPSC?
Sir, here I can talk about 2-3 points. One is my background itself is a motivation for me. I've come from a very ordinary family, like the lower middle income family. And especially coming from the rural background, agrarian background. So this has motivated me that I should work hard. That is the main thing, because I've experienced the problems myself. I've personally seen the problems in my village, and all. So that has motivated me to a greater extent. Second thing is every attempt, sir, from first attempt to the last attempt, my marks are improving continuously. It's not improving drastically, but at least I am nearing towards that goal of getting into the list. So that has motivated me to a greater extent. And the third point is that whatever the alternative I have chosen, if not the civil services, I thought of making some civil service at least. So I have taken that path of teaching and mentoring students, especially from 2016 onwards. When I was teaching, I was inventing myself. I was discovering myself, and this journey of teaching also helped me and motivating myself. I have motivated many students. Many of my students also got into group 2 services. So a constant motivation for me, my students itself, in the last 2-3 years.
Okay, Rahul, how did you deal with the fatigue part in the UPSC preparation? Because I have seen that the students normally in 2 or 3 attempts they get into the stage of fatigue stage. So how did you deal with that? Whenever you would be in the stage of fatigue, how did you deal with that?
So one is like there are many friends with me who are preparing for the civil service. Almost there is a batch of 5 to 6 people from my college who are preparing for civil services. So we were together. We had traveled together in this journey. So we shared our sorrows, we shared our experiences, we shared our successes also, because many people have got into SSC examinations also. So like this, my friends has been a constant source of help for me. They help me to chill out also sometimes when I don't get into the list. They were constantly supporting me. And apart from that, my co-partners in my preparation, like my roommates and all, who are also preparing for this daily routine. It's not just about preparation, managing our stress and all. And we used to visit new places at least in the weekends. We used to take some parties also in the weekends and all. So that helped me to avoid some sort of fatigue. And in the last 2 years also, with the help of my roommate Mithun, we have taken some yoga classes. We are going for some morning walks, yogas. So it's a lot of factors there. But last 2-3 years, I try to emphasize not just on reading and studying, but trying to go out for a morning walk, spending some sessions with the friends and all, like maybe some going to movies and all. So it's like a mixed picture. Sir.
Okay, fine. Rahul, what do you feel that in this journey of so many long years, do you feel that you made some mistakes which you could have avoided in your previous attempts?
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. Because it's my journey. Maybe I can sense that it has been successful, but there are lots of mistakes which I committed, both big and small mistakes. The first thing is like choosing an optional. I have chosen the option of geography with the advices of friends and maybe seniors, but I have not thought about my attitude, my interest in the subject. So first mistake I've done, personally, I feel that choosing an optional would be very, very tricky thing for this UPSC examination. So there is a major mistake I've committed in this examination process. Second thing is like I have more emphasized on reading the things, reading lots of sources, studying lot, maybe 10 to 12 hours daily. But I have not given enough stress for the answer writing practice in the first 2-3 attempts. So that was a major mistake. Second mistake I've committed, not just studying or acquiring the content, but emphasis on answer writing. I did not understand the importance of answer writing in my first 2-3 attempts. So that was the second mistake, sir. Third mistake also, I have not taken any strategic gap per se, because first 5 attempts I given without any gap per se. At least when I was changing my optional, I could have given some gap of 1 year so as to assess myself, my preparation, my notes and all. That was the third mistake I've committed. But I have learned from that mistake. I think that in the last attempt, I have tried to overcome all those mistakes and probably come up with a flying colors.
Okay. Rahul, with political science, was this your first attempt with political science?
No, sir. This is my third attempt with the political science.
Okay, with political science, this was your third attempt. Fine. Yes. Rahul, tell me one thing. I've seen that if you see our journey, then you have given 2 option subjects in the UPSC, yes, and then you have also given geography, and then you have also given this political as an option. So my question to you, Rahul, is that whenever a student decide, so in the world of UPSC, I feel that the world of UPSC is like an ocean. There is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of doubt, and I've seen that the students make many mistakes that they should have avoided. So what's your point of advice to any fresher who wants to start as a fresher? What's your point of advice for him for the first few years or in the starting months?
Yes, sir. First is to understand the requirements of the UPSC examination, sir. Like what UPSC is demanding, what this examination process all requires. Not just the knowledge, not just the reading too many books, but understanding the process of the examination is very very important. Every stage of the examination has certain formula, so try to understand that formula. How to understand that formula also? This formula can be understood by analyzing the approach followed by the toppers, those who have cracked this examination. If I observe cases I have, there is a pattern in every topper's performance. Either it is prelims examination, mains examination. So my advice to the aspirants who are budding aspirants is to understand the process thoroughly. The prelims examination needs some process of eliminating the options, trying to understand what the question is all about, and trying to read the question paper multiple times. Similarly, mains examination needs some sort of presentation skills, structuring the answer, answering to the point in a crisp manner. So every stage requires some sort of strategy. So that strategy has to be invented. Maybe you have your own weaknesses, you have your own strengths. So identify them and also analyze whether this is suitable for UPSC pattern or not. If there are some lacunae in you, if there are some weaknesses in you, try to adapt them. Try to customize the practices followed by the toppers. So there is lots of material available in the internet also. There are lots of answer sheets of the toppers available in the their approach, what is different from you, what different thing they are doing from you. So like this, if you observe the toppers answer sheets and all, you can try to follow that there are some specific formula they are following. So try to adapt that formula. And the second thing is that to the aspirants, nowadays there is a lots of confusion with respect to the material availability. Lots of people are not also reading newspapers. So my advice to the aspirants is to read newspapers, at least 2-3 newspapers you can follow thoroughly, whether it is Hindu, Indian Express, Live Mint. So by reading newspapers, you can analyze the content in a thorough manner. Simply following some current affair magazine at the end of the month is not going to fetch you that kind of advantage. And reading the NCRTs multiple times. So because basic is very, very important. The basic concept, if you are very strong with the funda, you can easily cross that stage of prelims, at least getting into the mains mode. So this is my the last thing is, sir, kindly follow the syllabus. Kindly follow the syllabus, because UPSC is not just asking the current affairs. UPSC is going to ask the questions from syllabus. So whenever you are preparing for prelims or even mains exam, especially, so try to follow the syllabus very, very thoroughly. My advice is try to read the syllabus copy every day of your initial days of the preparation. At least 30 days, 40 days, until you get the syllabus by hearted. Then only you should be taking the preparation to your next level. So my advice is paste the syllabus in your room, daily go through the syllabus, so that this syllabus will guide your newspaper reading or preparation. So this is going to be my advice.
Fine. Rahul, if we keep your optional apart from some time, and if you just concentrate on the GS paper, can you tell me that in the last so many years, did you change your sources frequently in every attempt, or you were stick to the same sources every year?
With respect to GS, sir?
Yeah, GS. Yeah, GS.
No, sir. Like my sources were almost constant. I used to make some notes for current affairs, especially from Hindu and Indian Express. Apart from that, I used to follow one coaching institute material just for an alternative purpose. Apart from that, I also used to follow the sources like PIB thoroughly, especially after my prelims examination. I used to read the PIB material, especially for the policies, data on that. So my strategy was simple, sir, general studies. Kindly stick on to the standard sources, government sources. That was my basic funda. The second thing is like my approach was more of an answer writing approach. I did not study too many books for general studies. My only funda is to write answers so that I can acquire more content. In my sources were very similar.
Okay, fine. Rahul, whenever means our experience is that whenever a student fails in any of the cycle, be it prelims, means or interview, then the very first thing what he does, he goes for analysis, self-introspection analysis. And after that, he thinks that the sources which I read for so long, those sources were not correct. And they are in temptation of changing the source, very frequent sources changing, fine. So what's the point of advice? Should anyone after a failure, should revisit the sources, or they should just, how they will decide that means my sources was correct or not? Whether I should go for new sources, or whether I should just brush up the sources which I've already went through. What's the point of advice
Yes,
in
sir.
that?
Yes, sir. My main advice is to fresh up the basic books only, sir. Because I had personally also with my preparation as well as mentoring some students who are preparing for civil service and groups, what I have identified is lack of revision is a basic thing. When they are answering the prelims part, lack
Rahul,
of
excuse me.
confidence is make.
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
just repeat the answer again from
Yes,
starting?
sir. Yeah. My advice is going to be like follow the same standards, sir. Instead of changing the sources and all, my advice is to follow the same books, but with more revision. Because lack of revision will not give you that confidence. Because personally, when mentoring the students, I have observed that people who could not clear prelims because of lack of confidence, lack of clarity in the options. So my advice is going to be that follow the same sources but revise them thoroughly. And second thing is uh, like I have personally seen because the standard books are same, sir. Because if you follow the toppers standard books which they have followed, or most of the students, they have the access to the material. Same material is accessible most of the aspirants. So material is not dead, but the problem here is the strategy. So maybe if you're not clearing prelims or if you're not clearing mains, that does not mean your source is faulty. The source is standard. For example, if I take a history book, whether it is Bipin Chandra or D.D. Bose, sorry, the spectrum and all, the source is same, sir. But the number of revisions matter, the confidence matter, the strategy matters. So try to revise them thoroughly. Maybe before examination, try to make some notes and try to revise the same notes multiple times. And second thing is practice as many questions as possible so that your mind gets tuned to that pattern. For example, for me, if it is a prelims examination, I'll at least answer 20 to 30 test series, test papers, so that my mind gets tuned. If it's a mains examination, I'll take test series of 2, 3 institutes so that I get come across many tests. So my advice to the people who could not clear any stage, whether it is prelims, mains, or interview, my advice is don't change the sources, but strategy. Analyze your strategy. If there is any mistakes in your strategy, try to overcome those mistakes and try to follow the strategy which you are comfortable and also which is needed for cracking the UPSC. How can you identify that strategy? Means follow the strategies followed by your friends who have been successful or the toppers who have been successful. So change your approach accordingly. So that will be my advice.
Fine. So the crux is that whenever we fail, we should revisit our strategy rather than revisiting coaching,
Yes,
teachers,
sir.
or even the
Yes,
sources.
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Rahul, you just mentioned that in your first of few attempts, you were not so much focused towards answer writing, right? So
Yes,
how
sir.
did you start with the answer writing with a fresh mindset that yes, now I have to start for the answer writing? What? Please tell us from starting. How did you develop this skill?
Yes, sir. First two attempts, sir, I have enrolled for some test series. I was just trying to write whatever I know to the question. So then my third attempt, I have understood that answer writing is matters the most in UPSC examination because that is a 2015 year. I talked to some of the seniors who have cracked this examination, and they said yeah, the answer writing is the most important. So that day I have taken. Still, I remember the date. That is March 12th, 2015. I've taken a call that I should start writing answers every day. So every day I should write something. So initial days I used to take 5 to 6 questions, and I used to write some answers for those 5 to 6 questions in a given time. That is 1 hour, 6 questions. So this is the basic mantra I have taken. So 5 to 6 questions I used to write every day in my third attempt. When I compare myself from second attempt to third attempt, there is a significant improvement in the marks of my general studies. But optional per se, I could not perform well because of my fall in the approach for geography. geography and all, but my general studies marks have improved significantly from second attempt to third attempt. So my strategy is daily answer writing. Daily answer writing helped me a lot. And second approach is that taking some test series, sir. Enrolling test series is very, very important. That is a mistake I have committed in my fourth and fifth attempts also. I have not enrolled any test series for general studies per se, because I had that confidence that I can prepare well and all, but that did not work out actually, because the test series gives us some sort of schedule, some sort of timetable. That was missing in my third attempt, fourth attempt. So that is the second mantra which I have followed in my last attempt, taking some test series especially and following this test series religiously. Apart from taking one test series, I also follow the second test series also, because I just take the questions of the second test series, try to frame some answers in my mind itself. I'll take 2-3 minutes for every question, try to brainstorm it, try to frame some structure. Like this, following some second test series without enrolling it has helped me a lot in encountering as many questions as possible. So as far as the question is concerned, I would tell in a very short form that practicing every day will help us to get the art of answer writing.
Okay, fine. Rahul, you just mentioned that you used to frame the answers in your mind first, fine. Yes. So won't it waste our time when we actually start writing in the mains examination?
No, sir. With due respect, I say that I have enrolled for one test series and I have attempted it thoroughly, religiously. All the tests have been attempted. Second test series, because there is a depth of time also, because I can't attempt the second test series also. So what I do is I take the question, try to read the question, understand the question, and trying to brainstorm it for 1 or 2 minutes and frame the structure. Like this, I am actually enrolled. I am actually attempting the second test. So like this, I feel that this has helped me to fast track my mind also, the thought process. So that immediately when I see the question, immediately I get some points. Immediately I get the introduction, conclusion, the major content. So this has actually helped me, sir.
Okay, so especially for the people who are a fresher in this examination, they should first try to make some kind of answer in their mind itself, and then they should go for actual answer writing,
right? Maybe like in the freshers per se, I'll advise them to take some, maybe daily they can take some 2-3 questions, try to brainstorm them. Maybe don't bother about the time limit or all in the initial days. Try to brainstorm them. Maybe all the content, what is going to be introduction, what is going to be conclusion, what is the body. So brainstorming helps us to understand the question and get the content. So this is going to be my advice of brainstorming for the freshers.
Rahul, tell me one thing, that how many test series should one attempt for this examination? How many tests, like 30, 40, 10, how many tests are sufficient for this?
How many tests you are asking?
Yeah, test.
Personally, I feel that every 3 days I have given one test, sir. Okay. Every 3 days, not a complete test, at least 10 questions. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I used to keep a test like thing. For every 3 days, 4 days, I used to take a test. If you ask me the test series per se as a complete full-length test, at least 12 tests can be given, sir. At least 12 full-length tests would be sufficient. Personally, and one more example I can give is, as far as ethics is concerned, I have almost given 5 full-length ethics tests, which has really helped me to complete the paper for the first time in my entire UPSC journey. Every time I was missing 1 or 2 10 markers in ethics test, but this time I have taken almost 5 full-length tests from 2 different sources, and this has really helped me to complete the paper.
Okay, fine.
So
and Rahul,
12 tests would be more than sufficient. It depends.
Okay, and Rahul, what about the time management? What was your strategy? For example, suppose you get a question paper and there are, say in ethics, there are various number of questions every year, fine? So how would you decide in the starting? Should we give equal time to all the questions, or should we give more time to the questions which we know? And I also want to know your style of attempting the paper. Was it random wise, or a sequence was there in the question attempting style?
Personally, I attempted the papers in a sequence. In a sequence, but it differs from paper to paper. For example, if I take paper 3, sir, my attempt would be, I will be starting the 15 marker first, because I feel I am comfortable with the paper 3 syllabus. So what I do is I attempt the 15 markers in the initial time, so that I can take almost 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes but I can even take 2 hours also for the 15 markers, but I attempt it very thoroughly. Why I'm telling this point is like the 10 marker I can attempt in 1 hour also, because 10 markers is because of the economy or the security and all. As I was very confident about those topics, I can answer those questions in 100 to 150 words within 4-5 minutes. But if you ask me paper two, my strategy would be like first 1 hour 10 minutes I'll be allocating for 10 markers. So whatever questions, like there are 10 questions of 10 markers, within 1 hour 10 minutes I will try to attempt all the questions. If I can't attempt all the questions, maybe 1-2 questions I'll be remaining. I will skip those questions and go for the 15 marker. And within the 15 markers also, what I will try to do is I will try to follow a sequence. But if there is a question which I don't know, which I don't have much content, I'll just skip it at that point of time and go to the subsequent question.
Okay, fine.
It would be to maximize the marks.
Okay, fine. Rahul, what about notes making? For example, I've seen that the students, they just have collection of definitions, important terms, important data, important diagrams for this answer writing, so that they can produce instantly in the examination. So did you go for this kind of a strategy?
Yes, sir. Because one of the reasons why I could not get into the list in my first 4-5 attempts is the lack of proper notes making. So that I felt one of the major lacuna. Notes making will really help us. If I can take some percentage wise, at least 25% of your preparation is nothing but notes making. That is going to have a significant value addition in the last minute, because whatever effort we have kept in the last 3-4 months, if we want to get advantage out of it, the idea is to revise the notes as many times as possible before the examination. That's possible only when we make some crisp notes. So notes making is very, very important, especially the current affairs part. Second is the definitions, especially for ethics part, and even the statistics also. I used to make some notes, especially from standard sources like PIB. Niti Aayog website also has lots of data availability, and Niti Aayog documents also have lots of data. So I used to make some notes of the statistics, and I revised thoroughly these notes. That helped me a lot. And I personally advise the aspirants also make some notes, and even 10 days before I used to make some notes so that I can revise the last day. That really helped me a lot in my paper 2, especially GS paper 2.
Okay, fine. Rahul, what do you think? What matters a lot? The amount of knowledge, the quantum of knowledge in the answer writing, or the style of answer writing? That means, should we develop the style of answer writing like someone who's like a Shakespeare or a decent level, decent knowledge of English is sufficient for the examination?
Yes, sir. So there are 2 parts in the question you have asked me. One is the knowledge versus presentation, and the second one is the vocabulary. If I with a humbleness, I say I have almost taught 2-3 batches of economy, and I am very confident of economy. But my 4th attempt, 5th attempt, my marks were not up to the mark. So I personally feel that knowledge does not matter here. Knowledge, everyone has the knowledge. Maybe some people have more knowledge, some people have less knowledge. Here the idea is the presentation. When I compare my 5th attempt and the last attempt, 6th attempt, knowledge was same, sir. But last time I could not make it to the list. This time I could make it to the list, means the difference is the presentation. This time I could underline the sentence, underline the keywords, make some boxes for the subheadings, draw some diagrams in a box in a neat manner, in a proper manner. So I just made some changes for my presentation. Knowledge was same. So knowledge does not matter. So knowledge is required. Knowledge is the foundation. But what UPSC is going to look out to is the discipline, the simplicity, the structuredness in your answers, the ability to comprehend the question properly and answer to the point. So these are the criteria which UPSC is going to award more marks. So knowledge is required, but knowledge is not the only criteria. Structuring the answers is very, very important, sir. As far as second thing is concerned, the vocabulary. Vocabulary, I don't say that we require very layman language, very simple language. I can't say that kind of thing, sir, because personally I feel that there is some sort of vocabulary which is required, but that is not like Shakespeare or some other English poet. Very simple vocabulary, which we find in newspapers or government reports, government magazines. reports, that requires some sort of jargon. For example, if you take a paper one society part needs some sort of jargon. We can't write in geographical terms. Similarly, political science or maybe the governance requires some sort of jargon. So that jargon should be adopted by the students in answer writing practice. So that is very, very important, sir. Paper specific jargon will fetch you added 5 to 10 marks. So that can be acquired by answer writing.
Okay, fine. So the crux is that after reaching a certain time, there is a limitation to the knowledge, and after gaining a substantial knowledge, we should work more on the presentation, collection of definitions, collection of diagrams, rather than reading more and more books. Right, Rahul?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Okay, Rahul. Okay, fine. Rahul, the last question to you from me. What's the different style of writing as far as optional is concerned and GS paper is concerned? Was your style different?
Yes, sir. So that's a very, very, very important question for all the aspirants, sir. Because personally, I have faced the same problem with my first 3 attempts because I could not differentiate between general studies, that is paper 1 geography, and the optional geography. So that is not giving me good marks in my optional geography. To be apt, sir, the general studies answer writing is different from the optional answer writing. Optional answer writing needs some disciplinary jargon, needs some academic approach. Because if I'm a political science student, the examiner who is going to correct my answer sheet is nothing but a professor in political science or international relations. He's an expert in that subject. So he expects us to write the answers in the jargon, in the vocabulary of that subject. So that is a major difference which we have to understand between the optional answer writing and the general studies answer writing. And second thing is that general studies is about the general understanding of the concepts. So here we can follow different kind of approaches. Maybe even with a diagram, we can explain to the examiner that this is going to be the answer for the question. For example, if he asks me like a question about food processing industries or agro-based industries, I can simply draw a diagram in general studies and tell to the examiner that this is the agro-based industries in India. This is going to be some challenges and all. But if the same question is asked in geography or some maybe optional, the approach will be definitely different, where we have to get some thinkers, some theories and all. So that is the most important difference. And the second thing is, sir, point wise also. Some people say that we have to answer point wise in general studies and all. That depends on the question, sir. If the question is more analytical, better you can follow some paragraph. If the question is more of descriptive in nature, you can even follow the paragraph wise, point wise. So it depends on the question to question. But as far as me is concerned, this attempt is concerned, for most of the questions, almost 50 to 70% of the questions in general studies, I try to answer in point wise so that I can give multiple dimensions. Optional does not require multiple dimensions. Optional require the theoretical approach, the disciplinary approach. There you can use paragraph wise also. So that is a basic difference, sir. And nothing much, sir, because even in the structuring of the answer writing also, for example, in general studies, we follow some introduction, body, way forward, conclusion. That kind of approach is not required in optional. Optional has to be written in such a manner that it looks more of an academic in nature.
Okay, fine, Rahul. So Rahul, I will just take questions of some students. I've received so many questions. I'm going to take only one question in this session. He is Deepak from your state only, Andhra Pradesh only. Fine. His question is that different toppers advise different things. Some of the toppers say to start the answer writing after 1 year, but some of the toppers say to start answer writing right from the day one. So what's your point of advice on this?
Sir, Deepak has asked a very, very apt question because this is a question which I also encounter from a student. Answer writing is the essence of UPSC preparation. How much knowledge we have, if you can't present in a given time and given space, we can't get into this UPSC list. So the idea is to practice answer writing. My advice is, say for example, next year the mains examination is in September 2021. It is better to start answer writing from September 2020. But for starting the answer writing, at least 3 to 4 revisions is required for every subject, because a grip on the content is very, very important to start answer writing. So maybe a person who is going to start the answer writing, try to revise the concepts, try to revise the basic books from NCRTs or any other books you have following, try to revise them and then start answer writing. And one more thing, sir, like some of the idea is some people feel that I have to complete all the syllabus, then start answer writing, especially people, the freshers and all. That is right to some extent, but I don't think so. Completion of syllabus is feasible to larger extent. We can't read 100% of the syllabus. We sometimes you should go for reverse engineering also. So in some concepts, you have to go for reverse engineering, learn through answer writing. That is the practice I have done in my UPSC preparation. So 1 year before the mains answer writing would be apt point of starting answer, sir.
Fine. So, Rahul, the crux is that we should start answer writing after coverage of substantial or decent portion of the syllabus. That is the right time to start.
Yes.
And whenever you complete,
Yes.
you complete in 1 month, 1 week, or 1 year. That time you can start the answer writing. Fine. Fine.
Yes, yes.
Fine. So, Rahul, thank you for joining us. Your last words to the aspirants who are preparing for UPSC prelims 2020 on 4th of October.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, because I can see there are lots of COVID crisis going on. There is lots of uncertainty going on with respect to UPSC examination. Don't bother about all those things, sir. My idea is my advice for the UPSC aspirants is be thorough with your goal and be thorough with the idea of getting into civil services. Once you are clear with this goal, keep preparing for this exam without outside influences. That is a major advice I'm going to give to the aspirants, and also try to revise the concepts as many times as possible. For example, if you have read NCERT of geography once or twice, don't get complacent out of it. Read as many times as possible and encounter as many questions as possible. Especially for prelims examination, it is advisable that you answer at least 30 to 40 full length tests. Similarly, for mains examination also, you start answer writing now itself. So that is a basic advice I'm going to give you. Keep yourself away from all the external influences. Concentrate on your preparation. That is going to give you one step ahead of the remaining aspirants.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. Thank you for joining us. And from the entire team of GS Score, we wish you all the best for your future. And we wish that you get everything in your life that you aspire. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.